Hey, what's up, comic fans? And this is the Top 3. It's a weekly video series where we bring you our personal top 3 comics of the week. And you're here with Comfire Rich.
And I'm Comfire Nate. And starting off this week, we're going to talk about Fight Club 2, number 2. Fight Club, we've talked about the first issue. Anyone who knows, who's seen the movie, this is pretty much a continuation. The same guy that wrote the original movie is writing this comic. And the first one left on a big high note, and it got pretty exciting there. We were really worried what's going on. Did he really just blow up his kid? And yeah, Fight Club 2 answers that question, and it's pretty. It's getting pretty exciting. What do you think about this issue, Rich?
I like it. I kind of figured that they would keep the kid alive. We said before that why would they make all this effort to build this kid up and then take him out in the first issue? But yeah. It's neat because now you're kind of getting what's going to happen with this kid. They're going to use him for something. We're still not really sure what, because they don't even show the kid in this issue. He's not in it. They do know that they replaced him with another kid, like killed another kid and threw him in his house. So
well, it's like the first half of the comic. You're kind of, I think, they're Sebastian and the. What's her name?
Marla.
Singer. Marla.
Yeah.
They're both pretty sure the kid's dead. That's what they said. They found a body, and it seems like that. And then I think towards about the end, they realize that the body is not that of their kids. And that's when I think is a very exciting thing, because it's like all of a sudden Sebastian kind of gets his
mojo back or something.
Yeah, he gets his mojo or something, man. He basically tells her to beat him up, make him look like he's all beat up, and he's walking back, and it ends with him walking back to the house, and you got guys lined up. So it looks like we're getting back into the old Fight Club roots, and it's exciting, man. I have no clue where this. I really don't know where this issue's going, or the series, but I'm excited about it. I love every minute of it.
I didn't think about it beforehand. You had the FBI. They come in. Obviously, the FBI that come in are cronies of Tyler Durden, because again, they've got the kiss on their hand or whatever, the lip print, and so they're there giving this information and whatnot. But it's almost now. I didn't think about it until just now, but maybe Tyler Durden has been planning this to get Sebastian back into the fight. Get him back into that world by taking his son, because you can't think he's taking his pills anymore. I don't know. They don't talk about it or anything like that, but because of this, he's now taking steps. And Marla jacks him up. She's like, oh, I'm not going to hit you with my heel and get blood on my Prada and all this. And, she gets mad when he's pointing at himself in the mirror like he's the one that took your son. And then all of a sudden she just co-cocks him with the back end of a toilet. And the next scene, he looks like a zombie. His face ain't no bruises. It looked like he's been battered to near death. So
yeah, well, there's a lot of parallels from like this and the original movie. It's like Tyler blew up his apartment in the original movie, and he blows up his house in this. So it's almost like,
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right.
It's kind of like he's if his end goal is to shake Sebastian out of this melancholy coma that he's in of his life and wake him up, then, which is what he kind of did in the first movie. If that's his goal this time it's like, I need to make sure you stay this way. Like, I need to bring you out, because ultimately, Tyler is this more aggressive, different type of his personality. If he wants this type of personality to be more prominent, or for them to become more of a combination of his personality, instead of it being either completely lackadaisical or completely crazy, if he wants them to merge into a more,
balanced, where it's
balanced
a little bit
version,
of both,
right? Exactly. That seems to be maybe what he's trying to accomplish, and that would make sense, because that's, 10 years down the line, he's basically in the same boat he was at the beginning of the first movie.
Yeah, like all of his work could almost kind of be redone. Yeah, so yeah, he's doing it because he's back. He's going back to the house. He's beat. Oh, and that was another point when they was fighting, and you said parallels. The very first time she punches him in the ear.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that, and that's exactly how him and Tyler, started their first fight. Where he hit his ear, and he
punches him in the ear, and he's like, "Oh, you got me in the ear."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
So they kind of did that
funny
again. A nice little nod to the movie there. So I like it. I mean, it's good, and I'm glad that the original writers are back doing all this. That way you can get these nods, and everything is a nice, smooth transition. So yeah, that's Fight Club. Now we're moving on to We Are Robin, and this is another new series. And it looks like the main character is going to be what's the kid's name?
Duke Thomas.
Okay, I was about to call him Derek. So Duke from the New 52 Batman, which was the kid in that one. He's a little bit older. He's bouncing around from foster care and stuff like that, and finds himself looking for his parents. It seems like he's looking for his parents. They're not sure if they're dead or sick or whatever because of everything that took place in the Batman.
Right, he appeared. He's appeared a couple times in Scott Snyder's Batman. You know, he appeared in the what was it? The 0 Year. He was the little kid that helped basically hide, Bruce Wayne for a while he was recovering before he went off to fight the Riddler.
Yeah.
He also was the same boy who was set up in that in Endgame where the Joker set up that parallel version of Bruce's parents getting shot.
Right.
It was his parents, and it was Duke Thomas's parents. Now his parents didn't get killed, but what they point out in this issue is there are a lot of people that are still missing from Endgame, where the Joker set off his his crazy
like poisonous
Joker
gas.
Yeah, that basically turned everybody, which is pretty. It's not something that hasn't been done about 15 times.
I know.
But he basically, his parents are missing. So he's in a foster care. They're trying to push him around to different, different families. And he doesn't really stick. He wants to go find his parents. He's been around Batman. He feels like he's ready to, I don't really know if he wants to be a sidekick. I kind of get that vibe, like he's wanting to do more. He definitely has some skill, so he's out there trying to find his parents. And there seems to be kind of like a group of people, all of course wearing Robin symbols on their outfits, that seem to be kind of following him and trying to see where he's at. Because as far as they're concerned right now, Batman's dead, and the city is in a giant chaos. And
so this does take place. This does take place in Gotham.
Yeah, it does. It takes place in Gotham.
I wasn't sure. I do know he does talk about it. They moved because Gotham was in. They had all the poison stuff. I don't know if they had recovered or not at this point. But so
it's some part of Gotham. I don't know if they get. It might be in the Narrows. It might be somewhere else. I don't remember exactly specifically, but it is in Gotham, and he wants to find his parents. No one's really. With all the people missing, it's not like they're going out looking for one particular person.
Right.
So his family's missing. He's in a lot of, issues about that. He wants to go out and find him himself. So he's in the process of doing that. And so far, he's had no luck. But I guess he kind of gets a lead about some underground stuff going on, kind of like a cult that has taken place. A lot of survivors have found their way down there. So he goes down there looking for his parents, and the cult leader basically knows that he's not supposed to be there and basically calls it out. And as he runs, all of a sudden all these different Robin wearing characters show up. And so they've been kind of following throughout the whole issue, and then bam, they show up. So that's kind of how it ends. So it already ends for me at a point where I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, you're definitely curious. For sure.
Yeah, you're curious, and it's a character that has had just enough of a small role throughout the Batman, the New 52, Scott Snyder's Batman, to invest you a little bit in the character. So it's not just some random new person. It's like, oh yeah, I know this guy. He was back here in this. He had a small role here. He had a small role there. So now all of a sudden he's stepping it up. I'm interested to see if we see some more of Duke in the new Batman, the New 52. If we see him more in there,
and maybe he pops up.
Maybe we'll. Right. There's no telling, but he's got his own comic now. So I feel like if he's got his own comic, he is definitely a character that we're probably going to see again.
Yeah, I would think so. They didn't. You don't have to be brand new. You can be brand new. I'm sorry, you can be brand new and pick this up. There's definitely going to be some nods to the other Batman and his character, but you don't have to have read those other ones to understand what's going on in this one, which is good. And this Robin people, they've been following him because they saw what he could do in his first day at this new school or something. He was getting picked on by some bullies, and the kids kind of got a little swagger to him, which is good. You know, like, I don't like weak main characters, and so the kid definitely has some swagger. He's kind of talking smack a little bit, and apparently he's, you know, he likes to talk to the ladies, but at any route, he goes to beat up all these kids at school like it's nothing. So the kid's edgy, seems to be athletic and got stuff going to him. They made almost a point to say, I don't do this rooftop stuff, because he breaks out of this family. He's being set up with a foster family temporarily, and he jumps out of the fire escape. And he says something like, I prefer to have my feet on the ground anyway. You know, so he's not going to be doing the acrobat. You wouldn't think he's going to be doing all the acrobatics. It was actually interesting. It's like these Robins, it reminded me of the Newsies. Did you ever watch the Newsies?
Yeah.
Newspaper gang of kids in like New York. They run around wreaking havoc and stuff like that. But maybe it is based off the Newsies. You got Christian Bale, who was the star of the Newsies, and that was our old Batman. A little connection there.
There's a little connection, yeah. I mean, it definitely looks like a hero gang, gang of teenagers that are out there
with no
they
training.
Wear the Robin crest because they want to be. But they're also something I just thought about. If you read the comic, there seems to be someone behind the Robins, like some mystery character that is kind of telling them what to do.
Oh, you think so? See, I didn't get that.
There's somebody. Yeah, I kind of get that vibe.
You don't think it's just like some other like lost kids and homeless kids that kind of band together to do this on their own? You think there's an authority figure?
See, I feel like there's
they do
an
have a
authority
hideout
figure behind them.
So
they do have. I feel like there's someone behind there running the show. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if we'll find out that soon. If that'll be something they spread out, maybe that'll be the end of the arc. But I feel like somebody's pulling the strings behind these kids. I don't feel like they're together.
Okay. Well, it'd be interesting to see as it comes out.
That's going to be definitely interesting.
If you knew you want to pick up a new series, though, Robin's definitely interesting to pick up.
It is.
A lot of
I think
different
it's
routes
going to be
that
good.
they could go.
I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a really good one. I think it's something that is going to be enjoyable. And if you like Batman, and even if you don't like Batman, if you just kind of looking for something new to pick up, I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah. So moving on from Robin and on to zombie talk. It's The Walkin Dead. What is this, issue 9,000? I don't know. I haven't read any of them.
It's 9,002.
I haven't caught up. I have a ridiculous amount. I have watched some of the series. I'm not even caught up on the television series. It's something I will be doing soon. So Nate, you're gonna have to fill me in. You tell me what's going on, because
this is Walking Dead.
Well, how different? How different is? I know if somebody's watching a spoiler-filled video, they've read all the other ones, but for me, how different is the comics from the television series? Just real briefly.
I mean, a lot of the stories are similar, but they kind of interchange the people that are a part of the stories. From like in the comic book, you might have two characters that get kidnapped by someone, whereas, and this is just an example which has nothing to do with the show, but in the TV show, it might be two different characters, or one character might die a certain way and another character might die a different way. So
I got you.
It's kind of like, imagine it as like a parallel universe.
Okay.
And different things might happen to different people, and that's kind of what I think that's kind of what Kirkman's going for. Like, the show might be his version of, like,
so they took the core. It's like kind of like they took the core, but then the show takes obvious liberties, which is good because, we wrote an article about it. Different mediums require different types of storytelling. So just because it works great in comics doesn't mean it's going to work great in television. So it's good that they were able to take the core elements of the comic and adapt it to television and take liberties with it, with what they want with the characters and how they wanted that to go. So.
I think it would be, imagine like if Kirkman had two ideas, like I'm not sure which one to do. He went one way in the comics. Now he has the ability to go the other way in the show.
So that's cool.
So it gives him a little bit of a different thing. But basically this episode, or this issue, I'm sorry, this issue picks up where, we've run across a new group of characters, which are the Whisperers. And basically it is a bunch of people who are wearing zombie skin. They put these skin suits on that are zombies, and they walk around, and it kind of protects them. I mean, it's a little bit of like a hybrid version of rubbing, zombie guts on you.
Yeah.
Except they walk around with the zombies, they act like the zombies, and the only reason why you know they're people is because they can talk. So this story arc started off where a zombie started talking, and dude was like, "What the crap?"
So what does the zombie walk around like? Don't shoot me in the head. I'm really a person. I'm just.
Well, it was
zombies?
this was, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 issues ago. These guys are like walking around, and then they thought they heard whispering, and they thought it was the zombies talking, and it kind of left you wondering, whoa, where are they going with this? But it's not the zombies talking. It's actually people inside suits that were communicating to each other while walking around with the zombies. So this last issue ended with their leader going to this fair that they've been building up between the different the group of the colonies that are been established from Rick and Maggie. So he arrives at this. The leader arrives at their thing. She's this bald-headed lady, goes by the name of Alpha. She doesn't have her skin suit on, so they just assume she's some new human that they found. She walks into this fair, kind of checks the place out. Rick and Andrea, Michonne, and I think his name's Marco, have left to go find Carl because Carl has run off to be with this girl that he's now in love with. A couple of issues back, Carl popped his cherry with this chick, so now he's following her around like a little puppy. So they're off, and she just happens to be the daughter of the Alpha, who's the leader of this new group of characters. So she goes off. They find, I thought it would be something they drag out like 10 issues, but they did it. They run into a whole group of these guys. They're like, come with us. They take Rick and they bring him to Carl, and he's like, what are you doing? And he explains to him. He basically just jumps down Rick's throat. I'm not a kid anymore. You don't have to take care of me. I love this girl. I'm here with her. And I mean, it was very interesting. It's kind of like Carl's becoming his own man.
Right.
Like he doesn't need his dad to watch after him.
So how old is Carl now in this issue? Roughly?
He's a teenager. I mean, he's a teenager.
Like 15 or?
Probably somewhere between 15 and 16. That would be my guess.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd have to go back and look. I don't know if they ever actually say how old he is.
I just wasn't sure because, like I said, I haven't definitely not caught up on that, so I wasn't sure how old he was. Exactly.
Yeah, from a drawing standpoint, he's definitely a teenager.
Okay, so we can kind of handle in a world where you're growing up being chased by zombies for most of your life. He has probably manned up quite a bit. So 15.
Oh, and I mean, all the stuff that he's
been
been through. I mean, all the stuff that he's been through.
Right.
If there's any teenage boy that could handle himself, it's Carl.
Yeah.
Carl is is everything his dad is, and then a little bit more.
Okay, so they do kind of, because I was wondering about that. Like, again, I don't like these little weak characters, so I wasn't sure if he was going to be this whiny little boy this whole way, or he's like, if something happened to his dad or anybody else, like he's definitely the man that could step in and handle things.
Yeah, Carl is.
That's good.
That's an interesting thing. I don't know what if ever there's a time when Walking Dead where Rick Grimes finally says his final goodbye, I would see Carl being able to right now step up and take his place. He is. I feel comfortable in that. Well, basically, again, Alpha comes back and basically says, "We told your people not to follow us, to leave us alone," and so she takes Rick, and she takes him up to the top of this, it looks like a parking deck, and is basically like, listen, and he takes him up there, and you see a cut of where Rick's eyes are just huge. He's looking over, and she's like, I brought you up here to prove the point. If we wanted to beat you, we would. And it is a super horde. I don't know how else to describe it. A super horde of zombies. There's thousands and thousands of stats. A huge zombie. So basically they're saying we could turn these zombies on you.
Right.
If we wanted to. Basically saying, I'm going to show you that I don't have empty threats. You want to make empty threats to me and say, you better give me my son back now or I'm going to do something. Those are empty in my eyes. If you want I'm going to give you the full, this is legit threat, here you go. And that's basically how it is. Wow. And it feels like we're, since it's been a while since we had a kind of new group of,
kind of like rivalries.
Do what?
Kind of like a rivalry? Is that what you mean? Like kind of similar to
like
him and the governor?
Yeah, sort of. You know, something like another faction to compete
Right,
with.
I got you.
So, so it's real interesting to see where this goes. I know Walking Dead is kind of up and down. You know, issue to issue. Sometimes are really exciting. Sometimes are kind of they're setting the story up. Very much like the TV show, you might have an issue that's huge. You might have an issue that's just a lot of talking and building up the characters and stuff like that. So this issue definitely ends on a big, just like, wow, what's going to happen next?
Right.
So I know, and I'm always excited to read Walking Dead. You know, it's one of my favorite comics. It always, anytime that it kind of starts to lose me, it always comes back and grabs me. Not too late. So that's one of the I think the good signs of a good comic is if it starts to get a little like you're not really digging it, then all of a sudden it hits you with an issue that pulls you back in.
New turn or whatever. Because I mean, what issue is this though? Really?
It's 143.
143. So I mean, yeah, 143 issues in, and they still holding strong. So that's definitely good. But that's our top 3 for this week. Again, it's We Are Robin, Walking Dead 143, and Fight Club 2, Issue 2. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, we want you to like, comment, subscribe. We want you to get in the conversation. We love talking about this kind of stuff. Please follow us on Twitter at Comfire Rich and at Comfire Nate. Until next time, we out.
See ya.